Okay, it looks like we should be live. It's been a while. Okay, let me just get my papers organized here. Okay, let's see if anyone is out there on this lovely Friday morning. Yeah, it's still morning. We still have a moment before the clock starts ticking, right? We are finishing 2023. Hope everyone was having amazing year, and that we are all ready for even better 2024, because I have some amazing news. If you are new to me, what you will discover is that I do not have problems. I have just challenges in my life. And those challenges I see as opportunities to be paired with solutions. So it's kind of funny, when people would look at my life and really look very closely and, really be with me on this journey every day, all days, okay? They would be like, oh my gosh, I honestly tell you, I think now, and I don't think, I'm convinced now that I was put on this planet to really, to embrace and to experience some of these challenges that would break most people, so I can figure it out how we get out of the trouble, how to pair it with solution. And I honestly think there is something, hey Gloria, hi, nice to see you, that there is something that I just attracted. I attract challenges. And when I really think about it, is because that's what we came here for, my beautiful souls, okay? My beautiful friends, my beautiful brothers and sisters. I know that there is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of chaos out in the world, but that's an invitation. That's an invitation. So today I will be sharing something super exciting that I am very proud of. What we've accomplished. We are literally writing American history. We are breaking through some of the things that, a lot of people are afraid of to address. And it was me too, all right? I wasn't born knowing it all. I wasn't born having all the strength and being able to conquer these things. But what I was born with was curiosity. As a little kid, I was always curious, okay? And if something was not making sense, it just was not making sense, because it's your higher intelligence, it's your intuition basically telling you, hey, this is not aligned how it's supposed to be. And most people do not know how to listen to it, okay? How to question it, how to start looking for the truth, looking to whatever, maybe the stuff you were taught in school was not really what the truth is. Maybe, and just maybe, there are some smart people out there, and all they want is to control the masses, right? Because imagine that you have everything, you have all the money, you don't have to work, and now what do? So it's the love of power to control, right? Because these are mainly insecure people. And so when we really kind of look at life, and we start searching the history and start looking for the answers, it will not disappoint you. It might take you on a quite interesting journey with a lot of detours and little stops, and sometimes stops can be for a year or a few months. Like now, I was just looking, and oh my gosh, I haven't done live in, it's been probably some 4 months. But it's because I've been very busy. I've been very busy matching these challenges with solutions. And so one of the most amazing thing is that we really figured this out. I took myself through this journey of really diving deep into the financial world, into the world of money, of economics, what's really going on in today's society. And that's what I will be talking about today, because a lot of people have been kind of asking me to do this kind of high level overview of this mortgage fraud, because I've been putting out a lot of videos as I was going through my journey, sharing my journey, right? Because sharing is caring and caring is loving. I wanted you to experience it with me. Hopefully you watch them. If not, go back. There is tons of information. And what I will now, I make a promise, okay? I will be making New Year's resolution that I'm going to get back on track with these videos, sharing my journey, sharing my inputs, and it's kind of all connected, you know? It's not just the financial world, the taxation, the enslaving and all that stuff. It's also the spirituality. It's also the strength, right? Having the strength to actually be able to look into these things and address it if you feel, hey, you know, I don't think that this is right. I don't think that you know, I volunteered to be a taxpayer and stuff like that. So going into the high overview on this thing with the mortgages, okay? So I did actually this talk, and it was a great 2-hour talk. I wish that I would have recorded it so I could share it with you, but people loved it, and so that's what I like to kind of like redo today here. So my journey started with this mortgage fraud. It will be about 2 years ago when I started to address the fact that, you know, when I was buying one of my properties, I had a realtor and you know, a family friend, and he took me and showed me this amazing property down in Orange County in Southern California, you know, this beautiful land, and it has trees and shrubs and little pond in the backyard and little patio and little overhang, and then the house has all these nice features, right? And I walked the land, I touched the trees, you know, I touched the fence, I could feel the grass underneath my feet. Then I walk into the house and I saw the house, how it's built, and I just loved it. So I said, yes, let's do this, Eric, let's make this deal. And so said, oh, wonderful. And because I didn't have all the money, okay, they said, oh, don't worry, Lenka, we are going to loan you money. We have all these lenders, right? So they matched me with the right mortgage company. And off we went to the escrow wonderland, right? Where they just give you all these paper to sign and it's in all this sophisticated legal language and you know, you just keep signing, right? You just keep signing and you keep putting initials on it because you know, you trust your realtor, you trust the escrow officer, you trust the title company officer, because they are all nice people. And so we went through all this process and stuff, and then at the end of the escrow, you know, it spit out a deed of trust, okay? And now going back to it, I read the deed of trust several years later, and it literally says that I am a tenant on my property, okay? And there was this APN number, assessor's parcel number with their legal description of the land. And so I did research what this really is. And what I discovered was that this is not describing the actual land, which land can be only described in metes and bounds. Now, what is metes and bounds? You've probably never heard it before. Metes and bounds is when a licensed surveyor is sent out and measures the physical actual boundaries of your property. So the metes and bounds description will look like crazy Portuguese language or something, you've never seen, and it will say something like from the iron pipe marked RCA 1234, go north 28 degrees, 48 minutes, and 13 seconds for 100 feet until you reach another iron pipe marked RSP 428, and it will basically be description of the actual property, okay? And this is basically what sets the physical, tangible land and soil, the soil of California state, a republic, okay? So then, when I was looking at this deed of trust, it doesn't talk about the land anymore. It talks about some APN number and this legal description, which is now in the books of the County of Orange, which we all know is a corporation, right? With EIN number, with Duns and Bradstreet number, which is operating under the state of California, which is also a corporation with EIN number, with the Duns number, which is operating under the United States, which is a federal corporation pursuant to 28 USC, which stands for United States Code 3002, Section 15, Part A. Make sure that you check it out, which is located in District of Columbia pursuant to UCC. That's a different body of law, their corporate law, commercial law, called Uniform Commercial Code. Article 9, Section 307, Part H, which will tell you this is located in District of Columbia. So this talks nothing about the California land, right? So there I am looking at this deed. And so my first journey was that I had to make claim to the actual land because I was defrauded. I was defrauded from get-go, all right? And this is why and this is done so they can, the county of whatever, the land is located in, they can tax it because now that private land was converted into commercial, which is called the real estate, okay? Which now that estate can be taxed. That's the reason, okay? And so I had to make the claim to the land, right? So that was another process I had to go through that I perfected. And so the land is secured under the land patent, which in most cases sits dormant because you don't even know about it. I didn't know about it. I had to learn about it, and I had to learn how do I reactivate it because the land patent doesn't go anywhere, okay? It doesn't leave with the people. The only thing that changes is the people. People come and go. They settle on the land, right? And then people cross over or people move away. And this is how we got into the mess that people forgotten that only in America, that's what makes us so special and unique, is that we are the sovereigns, okay? Which means we are the kings and queens. And those rights were passed over to us through Magna Carta, Declaration of Independence. That's why we had American Revolution. So we can actually own the land, not be tenant on our real estate that we don't own, Okay, this is why people can pay off their mortgage, and then, you know, something happens, tragedy happens in their family, then they cannot pay property taxes, and the county comes and takes their home. Okay, this is why. So the land patent is very critical in the process, because there you are making a claim to the land. So what you are doing, you are bringing forth the abandoned land patent in your name, okay, which now gives you the allodium, which is the true title. When you look at anything of deed is not a title. That's a color of title. Like everything they do, color of law. So this is color of title. So by bringing forth in my name the land patent, now I became the lawful landowner. And so, and I informed the county of it, and I informed them that, you know, now it's a private land which is not subjected to your taxation. You are a corporation. I don't have a contract with you, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, how are you even assessing the property taxes? What kind of species? Because are you aware of your own federal law, 31 USC 3124, that you cannot place taxation of obligations of United States, which, you know, that's exactly what they are doing. So that's felony right there. So anyway, once the county couldn't get the funds, extort the funds from me, they went to the mortgage company. And the mortgage company basically opened unlawful escrow account and were donating now the money to the county. So at the time, I was still making my mortgage payments, okay, in a good faith. I'm an honorable woman. But basically they were setting me up for foreclosure because the money that was coming in was now they were gifting to the County of Orange Corporation, which is perfectly fine. You know, people can gift money, they can gift cars, they can gift whatever, but not anything of mine, right? So that kind of started me on a journey of starting to look, oh my gosh, if they can be doing this, what other practices are they engaged in that I am not aware of? And that's when I started to study the money system. You know, what is it in money? Because we know that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, pursuant to Article 6, Section 2, right? And what does also Article 1, Section 10 says? That only gold and silver is the lawful money. So I'm like, so what's really going on? So we know that they took the lawful money away from people in 1933, and we will not go into the details. We will maybe do another video on just the money part. But they couldn't do it in a legal way without giving remedy to the people. So what they set up a system that basically when a baby is born, a trust is created on your behalf. It's called the Sesta QB Trust. And that's your social security, okay, that no one really told you about. So congratulations, you are a trust owner. You have a trust, you have an estate. And when you came to age of 18, it was your duty and obligation to really start handling your trust, your estate affairs as the proper trust owner. But it was nicely hidden, and everyone is busy with their life. So then they set up these banking institutions, which basically, if you read and if you study the Federal Reserve Act, it tells you, okay, that we are the creditors. Okay, we are the creditors, and our signature is basically what makes money in this bankrupt society, in this bankrupt system. So your signature, so when you So going back to the process, so during the escrow process, right, they told me, oh yeah, we can match you with a lender. They will lend you, $500,000, whatever the amount was, I forget. And all you have to do is, we will run your credit, right, blah blah blah, and all you have to do is sign here. Well, the promissory note, okay, or the application, the promissory note is the commercial instrument. That's the security that now the mortgage company endorses, okay, and takes it into Federal Reserve to be exchanged for FRNs, which then they turn and give it to the seller. And that's, please don't take my word for it. Go and study, research it. This is Federal Reserve Act, Section 16, Part 1 and Part 2, okay? And we can actually, what we can do is, because I have a thing called the computer, a laptop, and we can do it live, okay? So you can see and hear for your own words that I am not, I'm just a messenger here. I'm just sharing my journey. I'm just giving you free information, all right? No one is paying me to do this, okay? And my time is very valuable. But we will look up Federal Reserve Act, Section 16, all right? All right, and here we are. And we are going to section, and I will be reading section part 1 and part 2. Okay, so here we are. Okay, you can see I'm on a Federal Reserve website, Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Okay, so section 16, note issues. Issuance of Federal Reserve notes, nature of obligation where redeemable. Federal Reserve notes to be issued at the discretion of the Board of Directors of the Federal Reserve System for the purpose of making advances to Federal Reserve banks through the Federal Reserve agents as hereinafter set forth, and for no other purpose are there hereby authorized. The said notes shall be obligations of the United States and shall be receivable by all national and member banks and Federal Reserve banks and for all taxes, customs, and other public dues. They shall be redeemed in lawful money on demand at the Treasury Department of the United States in the City of Washington, District of Columbia, or any other Federal Reserve bank. And this section has been codified under the United States Code, Title 12, USC 411, as amended by Act of January 30th, 1934. Now, Section 2, okay, talks about here. Any Federal Reserve Bank may make application to the local Federal Reserve agent for such amount of the Federal Reserve notes herein before provided for as it may require. Such application shall be accompanied with a tender to the local Federal Reserve agent of collateral in amount equal to the sum of the Federal Reserve notes thus applied for and issued pursuant to such application. The collateral security thus offered shall be notes, drafts, bills of exchange, or acceptances acquired under Section 10A, 10B, 13, 13A of this Act, or bills of exchange endorsed by a member bank of any Federal Reserve District and purchased under the provision of Section 14 of this Act. And it continues. So you can read for yourself. You have it right there. Okay, so that note became security, okay, that funded the transaction. That's all it was. That's all the mortgage company was doing, just doing a banking transaction. And, I know that this will sound like crazy, Okay, this will sound like crazy that we are the creditors, we have a state, we are actually private bankers. Okay, this Federal Reserve system, okay, they are talking about, that's us, that's all of our estates combined together, because we are the creditors. All right, and we are the ones who are actually creating the money. Okay, and when I say money, it's basically money of account. It's these credits. Okay, but you haven't been told this. You've been always made believe that you are the debtor. Okay, that you are the sinner, the debtor, the one that owes, which is not true. The whole system is inverted. So when I discovered this, it was just mind blowing. It was just like, what? But then I started to think, well, that's right. I was there during this whole transaction, and it's literally like a shell game, like with these cups, okay, that they put the ball in one cup and they just keep like moving this, okay? That's how it felt. And that's exactly what they are doing, to distract you, to make it complicated, very overwhelming, right? Who can read all the stacks of papers that they are constantly shoveling at you? But then when you really connect the dots, and when you kind of like remove all the fluff and the gaslighting and all the confusion and the chaos, it is very straightforward. Okay, very straightforward. And there are a lot of people, who are complaining about the system, who are fighting the system. And yeah, go ahead, be my guest, whatever floats your boat. My approach is, listen, okay? The one of the maxims of law is the one who holds and owns the gold pays the bill. Okay, so the deal was that when they took the money from the people, they took the ability for us to pay for anything, but they couldn't do it without providing remedy, because that would be illegal, that would not be lawful. Okay, they did provide the remedy, but people do not study. People do not question. And this is why everyone is like on this treadmill, okay, working 9 to 5, working so hard so they can pay the bills, when the truth is the bills are already prepaid through your estate. And now you just have to know how to properly endorse it. So, but anyway, going back to this my mortgage journey. So when I discovered all of this, I was like, well, now we have to really address it, right? Because that's what makes you what's the word? That's what gives you the right standing, okay? Because there are a lot of people who are complaining about taxation and this and that, but then, ignorance of law is not an excuse. If you don't invest into knowing your rights, knowing the history, knowing the law, and how to stand on all the tools and everything that's provided for you, well, then it's on you, all right? That's on you. And in my camp, we have no victims, okay? We have no victims here. We have only people who are looking for a solution, who are connecting the dots, who are researching, who are thriving. We want to thrive. So what I've done with all that information is I started my court of record, okay? And most of you, or most people, what is court of record? Well, court of record is basically your right to self-help remedy, right? And it basically goes on a concept that if a brother or sister, and I don't mean it blood related, causes you injury, let's say someone takes my bike, okay? And I catch them, okay? And I say, hey, brother, this is my bike. This does not belong to you, right? And the brother is kind of like, well, I don't think so. Well, then I do my private administrative process on him. I send him a first notification, via, this is why we use paper, right? Because we put it on paper. And he doesn't, and he is provided 21 days to respond to it. That's my bike, that he took it from me. I have this evidence, and he needs to make me whole. And he doesn't do it. Well, then I give him another opportunity and a third opportunity. And now, if he still doesn't do it, well, now he is in default, right? He is acting in dishonor. He is acting in bad faith with unclean hands for unjust enrichment. And this is exactly how we are approaching anyone we are doing business with. So a mortgage company or any so-called governmental agency, it's the same concept, right? We have to give them a notice first that, hey, I've been injured here. I don't think, and I was there, okay? I was there when we were signing for the alleged loan, and I don't remember that I received anything of yours from you that, I took a hold of, that I took into my possession. And I have the first-hand knowledge. This is the beauty, guys, about affidavits, okay? I can do affidavits all day long because I know it from my first-hand knowledge. It says the truth, the evidence, and the facts to which the law attaches. So I know for a fact that I was there when I was buying this house, and you guys promised to make me a loan of something of yours that I would take full custody, care, and control of, for there to be a loan by definition, and that did not happen. So now I am giving you, 3 opportunities to rebut it, that my first-hand knowledge is not true, that you gave me money, which, by the way, there is no money, right? So what did they really give me? But we need to give them the benefit of doubt, right? So 3 strikes. I gave them my 3 strikes within my code of record here, okay? And they did not respond to it. One very interesting thing is that they keep sending these letters, right, from compliance department, customer care department. I'm like, no, I don't know who compliance department is. Compliance department is a fiction. It's a creation of the mind. Is it like all the people that form the compliance department, or is there a Mr. Or Mrs. compliance department? Because I like to then meet them, okay? Because I am a living woman, and I only deal with the same creation, living people. I deal only with living people. So since they couldn't really provide it to me, I had to address it to one of the principals, okay? And this is what we have to really learn, is that the principals, the CFO, the CEO, they are responsible for the actions of their employees, right? Because they are their top dog, the boss, right, of the whole operation. And now we know that it's a system of constructive fraud, okay? And so, because it would be a different story if, these mortgage companies, you go to them and they are basically they are the Federal Reserve agents that can take our promissory notes and monetize it, exchange it for the Federal Reserve notes. We directly cannot do it. To me, that's it's called monopoly. I guess you have to have a special license, and anyway, I'm still researching into that, like how that has happened. If someone is working actually in the industry, I would like to know. Let's say I want to start a mortgage company tomorrow, okay? And I want to start processing these notes for people so it can be exchanged with the Federal Reserve, and basically, and I could do a lawful business, because a lawful business would be let's say I open up a mortgage company, okay? And you come to me, hey, Lenka, I found this house. It's $1 million. Could you do this banking transaction for me? And I'll be like, yes, absolutely. So what is our deal, right? And you would say, okay, well, I endorse the promissory note where I would access the credit for the $1 million, right? And let's say the deal would be, and you pay me 10%. Although we also know from the Federal Reserve Act that the interest, okay, is not paid by you, but it's paid by the banking institution. Okay, so maybe the deal would be that I get to keep the interest on these securities because these securities then get traded on the stock market. Okay. So maybe that would be that kind of deal. But the most important thing and fact from this is that you would be walking out with paid for a house, okay? You would own it clear and free, all right? No this mortgage, fraud. No this mortgage, scamming, all right? That would be lawful and honorable way of doing business. And I do know that that's where we are headed for. Because as people start waking up and start asking these questions and start challenging the mortgage companies, it will have to push them into being honorable, okay? And working for people, providing honorable service. It's going to happen, okay? It's only a matter of time because people are awake. People know that something is wrong. More and more people are digging, okay? And more people are taking their private administrative affairs into their own hands. You see, the system actually, when you start studying it, provides for all of that. Okay, provides for the fact. So, okay, so as I was saying, so I gave them 3 strikes, right? They did not rebut it. Well, now we are going into default on the fact that they are acting in bad faith and unclean hands to unjustly enrich themselves. Okay, so now I have a record of it. This is what it's called, my code of record. Okay, and because they are affidavits which are notarized with their Secretary of State, which is an extension of the Federal Corporation, which is a judicial officer, which is now in the record and on the record, and that cannot be denied. So we create our code of record, okay, and once it is defaulted, well, now, even under their own UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, you can take them into foreclosure, okay? Because they are now admitting and confessing that no, we didn't loan you anything, Lenka. It was a system of constructive fraud. It was a theft. We placed you. This guys is even placing people into involuntary servitude, okay? Because the house was paid for, okay? Not only you did not get the benefit of it, okay, it was your own credit from your own trust, from your own estate that paid for the house, but now you continue to pay for what, 30 years? This is theft. This is theft. This is putting you into peonage, into involuntary servitude. But we cannot be sour about it, okay? We have to be positive, and through knowledge, right, we are bringing this together, and now we are asking them to remedy, to correct. Because I truly believe that most of those people, and even the CFOs and CEOs, possibly didn't know. Although we know that the ignorance of law is not an excuse, and especially when you are the CFO. Come on, guys, like there has to be some line in the sand we have to draw, right? Like we cannot just be excusing everyone. But that's what the law provides for us, right? That now we are bringing remedy. So once you complete your code of record, and look, this is, I don't know, it's probably like 50 pages, which includes basically putting a lien, because once they defaulted, and I filed a criminal complaint with the task force that Trump's administration put in. That's for market integrity and consumer fraud. Because remember, we are consumers. Okay, actually, we have a consumer. Okay, the consumer is our all capital letter. That's basically that entity that's dealing in their commercial world. So the law also provided protection for our consumer. Okay, and our consumer was injured because they took the credits from the account, which is your Social Security, that's that trust account, and they benefited from it. And they turn you into a debtor. They turn themselves into a creditor and you into a debtor. So they kind of switched it, okay? They switched it on you. So now that we filed a complaint, that binds our tort. You see, everyone is used to the word lawsuit, right? But lawsuit is still in their corporate tribunal world. We, the people, we manage our administrative affairs by ourselves, okay? And this was also beautifully set up in the UCC, so you don't have to overwhelm their court system. Okay, because this is straightforward, slam dunk, because if someone admits, agrees, and confesses, yeah, hey, I did not loan you any money, you are right, and also I agree to your fee schedule, which is part of the default process, because you give them an opportunity, hey, you fix it, you correct it, and if you don't, this is my notice of fault, that you are going into default and you have last chance and opportunity to cure it or accept contest the acceptance. And when they still didn't do it, you attach your fee schedule. So now, once they receive it, this is a contractual agreement. All right, that's a contract. Once they receive it, they sign for it, for the receipt. Bam, that's a contract. So you cannot come back later to me telling me, Lenka, your prices are very high. Well, first of all, they are in accordance to the standards, okay? But then don't come back to me, please, all right? What are we? Are we like in kindergarten here or what, okay? You need to be an adult, okay? Self-managed, self-governed, self-aware adult who knows that when he goes to a restaurant, it's kind of like going to a restaurant, right? And the waiter brings you a menu. Hey, if you order this, it will be this much. If you order that, it will be that much. I know my youngest son, he is an expert in it because he will always order the most expensive stuff, But you go through the menu and they order the stuff and they know what the price is. This is the same thing. So they cannot come later and say, hey, the price is outrageous. $6 million. No, it is not actually. Because let me tell you, Mr. Mortgage Company CFO and Mr. Mortgage Company CEO, actually, in the Federal Reserve Act, which I really, really hope that you read, because you are supposed to be the experts on loaning and money and financials, right? If you read Section 29, I believe it's Part D, anyone who engages in violating and breaching their fiduciary duty towards us, we the people, okay, the penalty is $1 million a day. So how long has it been since since you breached your fiduciary duty? My gosh, it's been like 20 years I've been paying on this mortgage, okay? On this alleged loan, okay? So, wow, you are getting it very easy way out, okay? I'm actually very, very affordable comparison to what the federal law is saying. So everything is provided for, okay, us. So after we tort them, so the tort is for the people, okay? It's for us, the people. And then with the tort, you include the true bill. And this is how, you know, the first case ended up being $6.6 million. And I have a second case now coming up, which is a little bit more because there were more companies involved in it. So that's written in the stone. That's a done deal, okay? And so once we have the true bill, well, now I bill them 3 times, okay? And that's also, okay, stipulated in UCC by the law. I go by the law. 3 billing cycles. So I bill them 3 times. And after the first 30 days, they didn't pay. Well, I had to now place a lien because now I had to securitize the debts because it didn't seem that they want to pay, right? So there is a lien, which basically goes against their private property, okay? And then once we complete the 90-day of that 3 billing cycles, now what we come up to is collateralized debt obligations, okay? Which is actually the strongest money of account because it's backed by collateral. And the collateral is the personal property, you know, the houses, the cars, the boats, the jewelry, all that stuff that they've been stealing from us, the people. Well, now, you know, law knows no favorites, okay? Law works both ways. So if it works for them, it also works for us, all right? And remember where all the powers are. All the powers are in we, the people. All right. So if all the powers are in we, the people hold all political powers. And if we hold all the political powers, we also hold the powers to the court systems. We've created it all. Okay. But you have to be on the top of the food chain. You have to be one of the people. You cannot be functioning and standing as, well, you are not standing. If you are a US citizen, you are literally on your knees, okay, praying and asking for permissions, okay? That's also why organized religion is so detrimental to what's really happening in America, okay? But we will not be talking about that today. So when we are standing as one of the people, we are the owners of the government. We that created the corporations. So we are also the owners of all those contracts, of all those creations. You have to remember that. And so once we complete this private administrative process, so what I've done, and they wouldn't pay, I invoked properly seated Article 3 Court of Record to prosecute these wrongdoers through trial by jury, okay? And this is what we have here. And I'm so proud of this because that's our solution, people, okay? That's our solution. So proper claim of trespass was filed. They were served. They were invited. They defaulted. They failed to appear. We have also stenographer certified stenographer report. Let me see here. Yes, I don't have the signature page here, but anyway, it's a certified stenographer's report. So we got that, and then we got the final judgment, okay, where the trial by jury was basically deciding, was I injured or was I not? And they did find that I was injured. And this is how we people are handling our private administrative affairs. This is why it's so important. We start standing up our counties. We start invoking our code of record. And remember, code of record, because we have the 12 jurors, they are your judges, okay? Because once we recognize that all the powers are in we the people, that we've created the court system, and that Article 3, properly seated Article 3 court is the only court of record that can actually hear the people. Okay, all and the judgment coming, that decree coming from this highest court in America cannot be reviewed by any of the lower courts, these corporate tribunals. And you have to remember, it was only set up because people walked out. People were not engaged. People were not engaged. So it started with the Virginia company that turned into the United States Corporation. And it was brought in to provide the 19 essential governmental services, and until we can be self-governed. And we fell asleep. People fell asleep. People fell, they just got busy with their lives, and then they forgot what was actually created for us, and that we have to take those powers back, and we need to start being self-governed and self-managed, and to really to breathe this power, this everything we have at our fingertips. All right, so it was provided for us. So I'm going to actually look at some of the comments here. Let's see if we have any. Thank you for the beautiful comments, guys. Thank you so much. As I said, we will be doing more of these videos. So we can keep the show going, okay? It's my promise. I will be posting this on YouTube, so you can find it under the Lenka Koloma channel, and I'm going to be seeing you soon. If I don't talk to you, have an amazing end of 2023, and remember, 2024 is going to be even more greater and more powerful. Sending much love.